Continuing with the story, The Proposal by Anton Chekhov. As I told you in the introductory session, this is a story about a marriage proposal based in a Russian society. We discussed about the marriages in Russian wedding, their marriage procession, their customs, the traditions they follow. We all discussed we discussed about all of it. Now, the story is about a marriage proposal. This is basically originally the name of the story is A Marriage Proposal. It's a one act play by the Russian short story writer and dramatist Anton Chekhov. So this play is an extract from the long story, and the play is about the tendency of wealthy families to seek ties with other wealthy families to increase their estates by encouraging marriages that make good economic sense. Now, the leading characters in the story are Ivan Lomov, who for a long time is a wealthy neighbor of Stephen Chibukov. Chibukov is also a wealthy person. He comes to seek the hand of Chibukov's 25-year-old daughter Natalia. So Lyumov has come to Chibukov's house to seek hand for Chibukov's daughter Natalia. All three are quarrelsome people and they quarrel over petty issues. The proposal is in danger of being forgotten amidst all this quarreling, but economic good sense ensures that the proposal is made after all, but the fighting and the quarreling, they continues even after that, right? So we have the leading three characters are Stephen Stepnovich Shubakov, Natalia Stepanova, and Ivan Vasilovich Lomov. So the beginning scene is the first scene where Lomov has entered into Chibukov's house wearing a dress jacket and white gloves. Now Chibukov rises to meet him. So let's start. Chibukov, please start reading your part.
My dear fellow, whom do I see? Ivan Vasilevich. I'm extremely glad. Now, this is surprise, my darling. How are you?
Thank you. And how may you be getting on?
We just get along somehow, my angel, thanks to your prayers and so on. Sit down, please do. Now, you know, prayers, you shouldn't forget all about your neighbors, my darling. My dear fellow, why are you so formal in your get-up? Evening dress, gloves, and so on. Can you be going anywhere, my treasure?
No, I have come only to see you, honored Stepnovich.
Then, why are you in evening dress, my precious, as if you are paying a New Year's Eve visit?
Well, you see, it's like this. I have come to you, honored Stepnovich, to trouble you with a request. Not once or twice. I already had the privilege of applying to you for help, and you have always, so to speak. I must ask you pardon. I am getting excited. I shall drink some water. Honored Stephen Stepnovich.
He's come to borrow money. Shan't give him any. What is it, my beauty?
You see, honored Stepanich. I beg pardon, Stepan Ornich. I mean, I am awfully excited, as you will please notice. Thought you alone can help me. Though I don't deserve it, of course, and haven't any right to count on your assistance.
Oh, don't go round and round it, darling. Spit it out. Well,
One moment, this very minute. The fact is, I have come to ask the hand of your daughter, Natalia Stefanova, in marriage.
Okay. Now, in the first introductory scene, we see the opening scene is when Lomov has entered into Chubukov's house, right? So, beginning, we find Chubukov is very hospitable towards Lomov. He's happy to see him. He says, I'm glad. And then they meet each other. They ask, how are they? How are they getting on, going on? And so Chubukov is also, we find him in a very pleasing manner. He asks him to sit down. Uh, Chibukov here questions him that why are you so formally dressed up today? Your evening dress, your gloves, and so on. Are you going on somewhere? So Lumov says, no, I have come only to see you on a Stepanovich. So the reason why he's formally dressed up, because obviously he's coming to his neighbor's house, but he's so formally dressed up because today is a special day when he's coming to his neighbor's house to, and he's brought a proposal for Chibukov's daughter, Natalia. So in the beginning, Chibukov has not told this thing to him. He says that I'm here because of something really very important. I want to talk to you. So Lomov tells Chibukov this thing. So he says, I have come to you for a request. Not once or twice have I already had the privilege of applying to you for help, and you have always, so to speak. So I must ask you pardon. He says that you have always been very helping towards me. You have always been very kind towards me. So he is just laying the foundation as if what to speak and how to speak, right? Now, Chibukov, in his heart, somewhere he is thinking that the man has arrived here. The neighbor Lomov is at his house to borrow money, right? He's very cautious. He says perhaps he's here to borrow money. So he's talking to himself and he says, if he's here to borrow money, I can't give him any. And what is it, my beauty? So then he asks Lomov, what is it, my beauty? What do you want? About what you, for what is the purpose of your visit today? So then he says, I beg pardon, Stephen Rich. I mean, I'm awfully excited. He says, I'm very excited. And he says that only you can help me. So immediately he's not able to speak up, right? He's a bit reluctant, or you can say he's hesitating, but so he's taking some time. So Chibukov then says, then don't go round and round, don't exaggerate. Please come to the point. Why are you here? What is the request you are talking about? What request you want to make? What do you want from me? How can I help you? So at that time, Lobov tells, one moment, this very minute, the fact is that I have come to ask the hand of your daughter Natalia Stepanova in marriage. That I want to marry your daughter Natalia Stepanova, right? Let's move on further. Let's see how the story takes the turn now. Shubukov.
By Jove, Ivan Vasilevich, say it again. I didn't hear it all.
I have the honor to ask.
My dear fellow, I'm so glad and so on. Yes, indeed, and all that sort of thing. I have been hoping for it for a long time. It's been my continual desire. And I have always loved you, my angel, as if you were my own son. May God give you both his help and his love, and so on. And so much hope. What am I behaving in this idiotic way for? I'm off my balance with joy, absolutely off my balance. Oh, with all my soul, I'll go and call Natasha and all that.
Honored Stepan Stepanovich, do you think I may count on her consent?
Why, of course, my darling, and as if she won't consent, she's in love. Egad, she's like a lovesick cat, and so on. Shan't be long.
It's cold. I'm trembling all over, just as if I did got an examination before me. The great thing is I must have my mind made up. If I give myself time to think, to hesitate, to talk a lot, to look for an idol or for real love, then I will never get married. But it's cold. Natalia Stepnovna is an excellent housekeeper, not bad looking, well educated. What more do I want? But I am getting a noise in my ears from excitement, and it's impossible for me not to marry. In the first place, I am already 35, a critical age, so to speak. In the second place, I ought to lead a quiet and regular life. I suffer from palpitations. I'm excitable and always getting fully upset. At this very moment, my lips are trembling, and there's a twitch in my right eyebrow. But the very worst all off is the way I sleep. I no sooner get into bed and begin to go off when suddenly something in my left side gives a pull, and I can feel it in my shoulder and head. I jump up like a lunatic, walk about a bit, and lie down again. But as soon as I begin to get off to sleep, there is another pull, and this may happen 20 times.
Okay. Now, in this conversation, we understand that Lomov tells Chibukov that he was there to ask for his daughter's hand for marriage, right? Chibukov is very excited. He's very happy to hear that. He says that you are like an angel, and I've been waiting for this day. My daughter is also going to be very happy. May God give you both your my daughter's my daughter's love also and her head also, and to have her in the marriage. Lomov, who is still bit hesitant, reluctant, he's questioning Chubukov that thank you so much, I'm honored that you are happy to have this proposal and you are really excited. But do you think your daughter is going to give her consent on this? Chibukov fair further says, why not? She's going to be very happy and she is going to be like a lovesick cat. She's going to fall in love with you. So Lomov is now, we find Lomov a very decent kind of a person who is actually there with the proposal. So then he says that it's very cold and he's trembling because he has to face the girl whom he has to, seek her consent for the marriage. So the great thing is that I must have made up my mind. I must have my mind made up earlier, but I give myself time to think, to hesitate. He said that I've taken a lot of time to think, to hesitate, and to talk a lot, to look for an idol or for a real love. Then I'll never get married. So he says it's cold. Then he's trembling and he's giving reasons that why he wants to get married. In this stanza, we find him giving reasons. First thing he says that Natalia Stepanova, the girl is an excellent housekeeper. She's a good housekeeper girl, and she is well educated too. She's not bad looking. I mean, she's an average looking girl, but the person Lomov, he finds a girl suitable enough for himself. That is the first reason he's giving. And second reason he says that it's impossible for me not to marry, that it's high time when he should get married because he is already 35 years of age, which is a critical age to speak for getting married. And in the second place, he feels that he wants to lead a quite and a normal life, a regular normal life he want to lead, because he says that he suffer from palpitations. I'm excitable and always, you can say, mood fluctuations. He says that I'm very excited at times and I get at times he gets awfully upset. At this very moment, my lips are trembling. He is trembling out of fear at this time, and his eyebrows starts twitching. But the very worst of all is the way I sleep. So it's basically he is giving all the symptoms of the problems which he is suffering because he is living a life all alone. He has no companion. So he says that at times I sleep very disturbed at night. I'm not able to sleep properly, and I get into the bed and I go to off. Then suddenly something in my left side gives me a pull, and I can feel it in my shoulder and head. Then I jump like a lunatic. Lunatic is a mad person. Then I walk about a bit and then lie down again. So it's all because the symptoms which he's telling, it's all because he is lonely. He is having no companion to share his thoughts, to share his feelings, to have a good time, to enjoy himself. He has nobody. He's all alone. So he says that more or less I behave like lunatic, a mad person. I suffer from palpitations. I have various other symptoms also then. So and moreover, he's 35 years of age. So he feels that this is the right time, rather a very critical age, and he should get married because he wants to lead a quite normal life, right? So, and this may happen 20 times. And he says that these sleepless nights and disturbed sleeps, this happen 20 times at night. So he is really very disturbed. So it's high time when he feels that he needs to have a companion, right? Let's continue further. Natalia. Now I want somebody as Natalia. I'm going to read out this part here. So, well, there, it's you. And Papa said, go, there's a merchant come for his goods. How do you do, Ivan Vasilovich?
How do you do, honored Natalia Stepanovna?
You must excuse my apron and necklace. We are shelling peas for drying. Why haven't you been here for such a long time? Sit down. Won't you have some lunch?
No, thank you. I have had some already.
Then smoke. Here are the matches. The weather is splendid now. But yesterday it was so wet that the workmen didn't do anything all day. How much hay have you stacked? Just think, I felt greedy and had a whole field cut, and now I'm not at all pleased about it because I'm afraid my hay may rot. I ought to have waited a bit, but what's this? Why, you are in evening dress. Well, I never. Are you going to a ball or what? Though I must say you look better. Tell me, why are you got up like that?
You see, honored Natalia Stepanovna, the fact is, I have made up my mind to ask you to hear me out. Of course, you will be surprised and perhaps even angry, but it's awfully cold.
What's the matter? Well,
I shall try to be brief. You must know, honored Natalia Stepanovna, that I have long since my childhood, in fact, had the privilege of knowing your family. My late aunt and her husband, from whom, as you know, I inherited my land, always had the greatest respect for your father and your late mother. The Lomovs and the Chubakovs have already had the most friendly, and I might almost say the most affectionate regard for each other. And as you know, my land is a near neighbor of yours. You will remember that my Uxin meadows touch your beech woods.
excuse me, my interrupting you. You say oxen, my oxen meadows, but they but are they yours?
Yes, mine.
What are you talking about? Oxen meadows are ours, not yours.
No, mine, honored Natalia Stepanovna.
Well, I never knew that before. How do you make that out?
How? I'm speaking of those oxen meadows which are wedged in between your beech woods and the burnt marsh.
Yes, yes, they are ours.
No, you are mistaken, honored Natalia Stepanovna. They are mine.
Just think, Ivan Vaslovich, how long have they been yours?
How long? As long as I can remember.
Really? You won't get me to believe that.
But you can see from the documents, honored Natalia Stepanovna. Oxen Meadows, it's true, were once the subject of dispute, but now everybody knows that they are mine. There's nothing to argue about. You will see my aunt's grandmother gave the free use of these meadows in perpetually to the peasants of your father's grandfather, in return for which they were to make bricks for her. The peasants belonging to your father's grandfather had the free use of the meadows for 40 years and had got into the habit of regarding them as their own. When it happened that
Okay, we're going to stop here. See